Have you ever heard of a woman who died on her wedding day, not by accident, but to protest a marriage she never wanted? This happened 106 years ago, on November 14, 1919, in the city of Changsha, China. And it became one of the most shocking tragedies in modern Chinese history, a story that helped spark the women's rights movement in the country. Part 1. The marriage everyone was talking about. Weddings, we like to believe, are supposed to be happy days. A young woman named Zhao Wuzhen, daughter of an eyeglass shop owner, was getting married. Her groom Wu Wu was a wealthy antique merchant. The streets were crowded with people. Some came to celebrate, but most came to gossip. Why? Because everyone in town thought the match was strange. Zhao was 21, educated in a new style school, rare for women at the time, and skilled in art, cooking, and sewing. Wu, on the other hand, was in his late 30s, already widowed, and rumored to be unpleasant in both temper and appearance. There were even stories that his mother, the bride's future mother-in-law, was so scary she once bit someone's hand during a fight. Still, the groom had one powerful advantage: money. He showered Zhao's family with lavish gifts and dowries, spending heavily to impress them. In traditional China, arranged marriages were family contracts, not romantic choices. The daughter's opinion often didn't really matter. And so, under social and family pressure, Zhao Wuzhen agreed to marry. Part 2. The blood in the wedding carriage. On November 14th, the grand wedding procession began. The bride sat inside a red silk bridal sedan chair, carried through the streets by porters, surrounded by music and fireworks. Everything looked perfect, until one of the carriers noticed blood dripping from the bottom of the chair. When they opened it, everyone froze in horror. Zhao Wuzhen had slit her own throat with a razor blade inside the wedding carriage. She was still clutching the blade when they found her. Moments later, she died, her wedding dress soaked in blood. She never even reached the groom's home. Part 3. The storm that followed. At first, local officials treated it as a simple suicide case. But then they made a mistake. They recorded her name as Madame Wu Zhao, as if she was already part of the Wu family. The detail ignited public outrage. Writers, students, and newspapers all over China asked, "How can you call her Madame Wu? She died fighting against this marriage. She never agreed to become his wife." And this question soon exploded into a national debate. Part 4. The symbol of a new China. Remember, this was 1919, the same year as the May 4th movement, when young Chinese intellectuals were fighting to modernize China, calling for women's rights, science, and freedom of thought. To them, Zhao Wuzhen's death was not just a personal tragedy. It was a symbol of everything they wanted to change. A young woman, educated and aware, was still powerless under patriarchal family control. She could not refuse her parents. She could not live independently. And the only way she could say no was to die. Her suicide became a rallying cry against the arranged marriage, dowry culture, and feudal family obedience. Newspapers across China called her the martyr of free love. Universities held discussions. Women's groups organized protests. Her name was printed on banners demanding change. Part 5. A legacy written in blood. Zhao's own father later claimed she had misunderstood the groom, that she'd believe the false rumors and act rashly. But no one believed him. To many, he symbolized the old world, where daughters were property and marriage was a business deal. Only a few months earlier, another woman named Li Chao had died in Beijing after fleeing her own arranged marriage. So when Zhao's blood stayed the red wedding carriage, it became the final straw. Her death marked a turning point, a moment when the call for women's freedom and equality could no longer be ignored. Today, 106 years later, we may take love and choice for granted. But in early 20th century China, freedom in marriage began with tragedy. Zhao Wuzhen's story reminds us that progress often starts with pain, and that behind every modern right, there was once someone brave enough to resist, even at the cost of their life.